All right, everybody, this is an updated video of making a deboss leather patch logo label. And I do have the older videos, which I'm just gonna leave posted, but I thought I'd make a new one in the newest version of CLO, which today is CLO 2025.2, okay? Okay, so there's two ways to do this. We're gonna put a logo on a leather patch, and we want it to look like it's debossed, like it's pressed into the patch. The one quick, easy way, I guess, is using a graphic and playing around with the normal map of the fabric and displacement map of the graphic, fabric and graphic, and that's okay. The problem is that it's a graphic laying on top of fabric, so it's never really gonna look like it's like the fabric is debossed. It's just gonna look like it has a graphic on the fabric and there'll be like bumps to the graphic. So it's like an okay way, but it's not the best way. The best way would be to actually take your graphic and vectorize it and cut out of the fabric your logo. That way you could leave the patch one width wide of fabric, and then your logo will be a different, like the same fabric, but you change the fabric to be much thinner. So then the fabric actually is thinner. So that's the better way to do it. Okay, so the easier way, I guess real quick, that's not my favorite, I'll go through it kind of quick, is just adding a graphic. Okay, so I'm gonna open this up. I will have my logo here. It's just black and white. I'll click it one time. I'm gonna choose center and I'll say, okay. Okay, so there is my logo. I actually don't think they centered it. Whoops, let's see if I can move it around. There we go. Okay, so let's zoom in here. Okay, so now I'm gonna click on the logo. You can see it's kind of flat. I will make it tonal to match my fabric. So to do that, I'll say desaturate to get rid of the color. Okay, and then I will, so right now it looks like the color is white. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna use this eyedropper and I'll choose the color of the fabric. Now I have to escape to get out of the eyedropper. Okay, is that right? Let me try that one more time. Click. Yeah. A little tricky. That's fine. And I'll say apply and escape and then apply and close. Okay, so it's kind of tonal, but again, the graphic's very flat. So to give the graphic some texture, you want to make sure you're on the graphic, right? You're not on the fabric tab, you're on the graphic tab, you got your graphic selected, and then now you can go to the property editor. And we can say normal map. Well, we don't have one, so what we can do here, you can generate, or you can use same map as fabric. So let's do same map as fabric. And look at that, boom, now we got some texture. Same with the displacement map, we can also use same as fabric, so we'll use that. Okay, if I uncheck that, it goes away, yeah, so let's just have the same. So there you go. I mean, I guess that's one way. It's not super real, it doesn't really look like debossed. The only reason why it would look like debossed is because you make the shading, and sometimes just having something more shadowy makes it look further away. So that's kind of the easy, just displacement map. Now let's go ahead and demo a little bit more labor intensive, but I think looks much more realistic way, which is using vector images. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just delete this graphic, get rid of it. Okay. So I saved a vector version of my graphic. So I'm going to import add, and it's an Adobe AI file. So so now I have two sizes, and the reason why is because I initially wanted my patch to be 3 by 2 inches, but I noticed when I brought that in, it lost some of the vectors. I guess it was too small for CLO to bring in, and so some of the letters were just missing. So I made a larger one, and it did much better. So I'm going to bring in 12 by 18, and then I'm just choosing import as internal shapes. I'll say okay, brings it in as fabric, but all the little middle letters are actually the internal lines. So if I had chose baseline, it would have been baselines. You can see it didn't bring in my needle, but it did bring in all my other letters. So maybe if I made it even bigger, then it would bring in the needle as well. I'm not sure, but I could play around with that, or I can just draw a new needle. So I guess I'll just do that. So I have my polygon pattern drafting tool. I always like tell people that this is like making a piece of paper and then the internal lines are basically like drawing on the paper. Okay, so if you know Illustrator, you're probably pretty good at using the pen tool where you click and drag and whatnot, and then you can get your selection tool, keyboard shortcut Z, to kind of clean stuff up for you. Okay, alrighty. I don't know, I would probably prefer bringing in my Illustrator one since I know that one's perfect rather than me eyeballing this right now, but that's okay. I just wanted to show you more than one way. Okay, so now I'm going to take this shape, I'm going to right click and I'll say clone as internal shape, and then that way I can just stick it right there. So now I have the little middle part. Bring this guy back over here. Okay, so I have my logo ready to go. Let's go ahead and bring it up higher, kind of just so it's next to my fabric. Here we go. Okay, so again, this is a piece of fabric, and what I'm gonna do, I need these vector images to be internal lines so they can cut my clean piece of fabric, and all the letters will be their own separate piece of fabric. And then that way I can give this big rectangle a thick fabric value, and then all the little letters can have a thin fabric value. Okay, so to do that, I'm gonna right click after all my logos selected, and I'm gonna say clone as internal shape. I'm gonna put the internal shape over here on this guy. Okay, there we go. Now, let's see if I don't know if it'll let me do all of it at once, but I'll try. I'm gonna right click and nope. Okay, so now I'm gonna pick each shape. Now I did lose my little triangles. We'll just worry about that later. Let's see here. Should I worry about it now? I think I'm gonna worry about it now. So I lost my little holes of my letters. So I'm gonna grab each one. I'm holding shift. Okay, and I'm gonna say, I guess, copy. And then now I'll say paste. Okay, fortunately I have to eyeball where it goes. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I got all my internal lines on my little swatch. Now basically I just want, again, to repeat myself, all the letters to be a thin fabric and everything else to be a thick fabric. So it looks like my logo is debossed. Let's zoom in on it right now and kind of see what he looks like. Come here, buddy. Okay, so everything's like the same fabric width, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna select all these letters. Let's see, I wonder, I think I'm gonna have to actually hold shift and pick each one. Let me see if I can do this. Nope. I'm trying to think the fastest way to select all of this. Maybe that's just, I'll just hold shift and click each one. No, I messed up. Okay. Oh, I hit edit undo. Phew. Okay, they're all selected. Now I'm gonna right click, and did you notice how I hovered over the internal line instead of the fabric? Okay, now I'm gonna say cut and sew. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do is just scooch them. Oh no, I lost them all. Here, I'll select all of them. Except for the patch, and scooch them here. And then, okay, so all the little holes, I actually do want them to be like with the patch fabric, to be like a little poofier. It doesn't really matter what I'm doing right now. I'm just selecting them all, and I'm just gonna move them up here just so visually I can kind of keep my sanity. They're like, hey, I want you guys to be on the same type of fabric. Let me zoom in. It doesn't really matter where I place them in this 2D window because they're sewn together. You can see how they are right here. Okay, cool. So now I have all my pattern pieces, and now the goal is I want this fabric to be thick and this one to be thinner. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, this is my leather lambskin. I'm gonna take you and I'm gonna duplicate you. And let's bring you up. I don't know why I have so many fabrics here. Probably delete a lot of these. Oops. Okay. Been working on this file for a little while. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Okay. So this second one here, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna have all of this selected, and I'm gonna put you here. So maybe I will rename you. You guys are gonna be the deboss. Okay. And so a couple things. One, I can make my leather a little thicker. So maybe I'll take my actual leather fabric here, and I'm gonna just ignore the base color. I'm gonna ignore the normal map, ignore the displacement map, and we're gonna go down to physical property. Okay, and look, there's thickness. And what if I changed it to 2, for example? Okay, so you can kind of see already that's gonna make a difference, right? So let's just, for fun, look under render, stop, and I hit the little refresh button. Yeah. So there you go. It's kind of more rendered. So I could play with it more. I could make my actual fabric thicker. I can choose this lambskin one and make it thinner, like maybe only 0.25. I can play with my colors. I can make them exactly the same color. Oopsies. Oh dear, this is not working out well for me. Okay, dear, this is not good. 0.25. Okay, geez. Okay, and I'll hit stop and cool. And it's actually looking pretty good. One other thing is, like, for example, if I ended up making this fabric really thick, like the patch part, I'm gonna choose that. What if I made it like 6 or something crazy? Let me hit stop and refresh. You can see how it's getting thicker on the sides here. It's kind of like at an angle the way it brings it in. So you can actually control that, not on the fabric, but you can control it on your pattern piece, how it cuts like the corners. So I guess right now I'll go back to 2D window, and I can just like select, I guess, all of them, all my pattern pieces. And then I'm gonna go down to simulation properties. Oh, actually below it, geometry. Okay, so it has the side geometry. So if you want it more straight, bring down the curve level. Okay, let's go to the render. I'll hit stop and refresh. So now it's not doing that angle. So you can control that as well. I didn't really notice it when I had my thicknesses not at a crazy thickness, but that's something you can control as well. You also might be looking at this like, oh, why isn't that a curved shape? That's because my particle distance right now is still pretty high of my pattern. So let's go to 2D pattern window. And if I look at this guy, I'm gonna go up. My particle distance at 20. So if I bring that down just to 5, and let's go back to render. Oh, I should hit space bar. I'm gonna get out of render. I'm just gonna let it resew. Okay, I hit space bar to kind of give it gravity, and then I froze it again by hitting space bar one more time. Let's see what that looks like in the render window. I'm gonna hit stop and refresh because I gave it a much lower particle distance. And there you go, it got more round, right? So, so yeah, that's just another way to deboss. You play with those elements as far as the fabric thickness and then the geometry of the side geometry, the like curvature, and then also just the color of the two pattern pieces. So yeah, it looks like the one I actually used is colored a little bit different than this one, even though I had copied it. I've been working on this file earlier, so I had an older one. What happens if I did make it the exact same color? So if I look here, let's see what color, material, leather, base color. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this number. I'm gonna put it on my letter pattern pieces. Paste it so it's the same color. Stop and refresh. Cool. So this is neat because they actually are the same colors, and the reason why they look different is because of the shadows of the actual deboss. So yeah, so there you go. 2 ways to make this patch. Looking forward to seeing how yours comes out.